194 feet per minute. It's not right. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the stream. I hope we're all doing well. All right. Here we go then, guys. Duo Airways. Should be good fun today. We've got, I think we're going to be doing a relatively short stream, but we are going to be using the CRJ. There's going to be lots of fiddling about and messing with things. So it should be a lot of fun. Thomas, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Yes, back in the CRJ. There has been a pretty sizable update to the CRJ over the last few days. And so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. There's some pretty cool updates, especially glide slope hold. Yeah, so we should be seeing some better approaches. And hopefully the aircraft not diving down when capturing the glide slope. Flying Stew, good afternoon, mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope you managed to get that thing sorted with your TCA. I only just realised actually after you responded to the post on on the forums that it was you. Charles, welcome to the chat. Good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. And Hair Salute, welcome to the chat. Hello to you in Spain. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, working on it now. Yeah. It was a bit annoying. I remember I had that when I first used the TCA Quadrant, but I mean, I'm not sure about the throttle one, like I say, but definitely the flaps and spoilers was linked to the fact that it was a bound control, but the axis didn't actually have a controller, so yeah. Hopefully it helped. All right, guys. Let's do this thing. So we're going to be flying on VATSIM. Let's. I don't know if any controllers are actually on. I haven't checked just yet, but let's have a quick check. Duo 614 is going to be our call sign. We're in the CRJ7. All right, all right. Late morning from Washington State. Welcome to the chat, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. You have to find the detent settings all over again since the last two updates. Oh no. That does sound like a massive pain. I mean, if it's anything, if you're using the experimental version of the A32NX, they do have a really good calibration tool built into the EFB now. All right, we do actually have a ground controller on at Birmingham, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's jump in and start getting set up here. So as you can see here, we've got the Duo Airways livery. Very, very nice. I do like this livery. It's just a cool combination of colors. And yeah, it's just cool. This is an airline that used to operate out of Birmingham. That's where we are. We're currently at Birmingham in the UK. This is the Macco Sim scenery, so it's looking pretty nice. But this used to be Duo Airlines, Duo Airways, should I say. This used to be their base, and before they collapsed, basically. They were previously Maersk Air, so you may have remembered we flew a few Maersk Air routes previously out of Birmingham with the British Airways livery. That's the livery that Maersk Air UK used to run. And Duo Airways is the company that took over them after Maersk Air UK, and yeah, eventually they collapsed. But yeah, bit of a blast from the past today. Should be pretty cool. We're flying over to Edinburgh, and it should be a nice little flight. We've got absolutely beautiful weather here in the UK at the moment. Just to make sure I've got live weather and time on. Yeah, like I say, the weather is not snowing, so that's going to disappear hopefully. But yeah, as you can see in the UK at the moment, it's nice and sunny. It's absolutely beautiful. It's quite warm as well. So yeah, it should be cool. All right. Anyway, without further ado, let's get things underway here. So I've got some pretty exciting stuff actually. I mean, exciting is probably subjective, but I've got some really cool key bindings that I managed to figure out. I don't know if you guys have ever used this application here called Axis and O's. But I've basically managed to bind loads of stuff here to the CRJ that you can't bind by default, and it's just really, really cool. So if I just bring up my hand cam right here, so you can see obviously I've got my TCA add-on here. So I've managed to bind a bunch of stuff. So I think the only thing that are default bindings is the actual throttle axis, the reversers, and the spoilers. So that all is bound by default. Okay, this controller has to go at 6 o'clock. Okay, I'll go into that in a minute, and we'll get our clearance before I mess around with that. So yeah, let's get set up and get our clearance, and we'll take it from there. All right, let's get our batteries on, nav lights and logo lights on as well. Let's go to the EFB. Message this controller back. Just let him know that I'm going to call him in a sec. We'll just get the passenger door open. We'll get all the doors open and the ground power cart. We'll get that connected as well. And cabin lights we can put up. And yeah, we'll put the guardrails down on this, and then we'll see if we can actually get... We'll see if we can get a jetway connected as well. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to connect properly, but we'll try it. We'll try it. I did have some success with this in Copenhagen. So hopefully it works okay. Did I just remove the chocks as well? The chocks aren't there anymore. I did, didn't I? There we go. Okay, and you can see the EFB actually now has a slightly different colour to it from the update, which is always good. Nice little update. Before it just adds a bit more depth to it, I think. Right, let's get the jetway connected. The ground power cart. This guy's backing off, but I think it's just because I pressed tug on pushback helper. Oh, baby. Oh, look at that. It actually comes down to the aircraft. Okay, it's not going to extend like the flappy bit, but I mean, it's done an okay job, to be fair. All right, cool. Let's get the AC power on then as well. And we'll speak to air traffic control. So he's on 121.8, so we'll get that tuned in here. There we go. That should do it. Off the ice. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's have a quick word with the controller and see what he's saying. In fact, I'll just have a quick look at his 80s first, because he's going to obviously want that. We're information Delta. UNH is 1025. I'll just set that now, just before I forget. So what we'll probably do is we'll probably just get our clearance, and I mean, it's going to take us a minute to get set up here, so he's probably going to go offline before we taxi out, but we'll at least get the clearance. Birmingham ground, good afternoon. Fly Duo 614 stand 41 center, CRJ7, information Delta QNH 1025 requesting IFR clearance to Edinburgh.
Duo 614, clear to Edinburgh, Leuven 1 Lima departure, squawk 2260.
Clear to Edinburgh, Leuven 1 Lima departure, squawk 2260, fly Duo 614.
Fly Duo 614, correct.
Okay, great stuff.
And flies Duo 614, I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect to change my push to talk.
No worries, thank you. Alright, 2260 is our squawk, so we'll set that for using this. Seems this knob might be a bit quicker now. I'm not sure if I can't tell if it is or not. But that's that. That's set. Great stuff. Have I seen the new Sim for Flight 350 screenshot? The one that they released, I think they released it over the weekend. I have indeed, yes. It looks pretty damn sweet. All right, let's see if we can get set up here fairly quickly, and we will hopefully get a bit of taxi clearance. So let's see how it goes anyway. All right, so we'll just set our 0 fuel weight to our sim brief. So that's going to be 28259. As you can see here, they've added a bit of visual feedback when you're typing in and stuff, which is nice. And these boxes are also now highlighted when you are typing in them. So yeah, it's a bit better now. Actually, you can kind of see when you've clicked stuff and you're not second guessing yourself. All right, cool. So that's our loadage for today. Let's set payload in simulator. I'm going to press that twice for good luck, as that seems to usually give a different figure on the trim. So we'll do that. 0 fuel weight 28259. I'm just double checking this. Oh no, I'm putting it wrong. I'm putting in the freaking maximum 0 fuel weight there. So we want 26086. There we go. And block fuel is...
And flight 0614 back up.
Welcome back. Alright, cool. So our payload is set. 0 fuel weight is correct. Let's set our takeoff data as well. Alright, let's see if we can get set up relatively quickly here, and hopefully we can get a bit of taxi clearance. So I'm not going to bother with all of the originating checks here. I'm just going to kind of fly through everything and get set up. So just get a bit of lighting on the go, really, first of all. We can very quickly test the oxygen mask while we're here. Why not? Get the light sets in this corner as well. Everything else is okay on here. We've set the QNH. That's all okay. Let's go. Let's not press F7. Let's press 8. Okay, we can test that, but we're not going to look at it. We know that is going to work. We shall set the isolation valve to open. We'll get the APU fired up because we're trying to be in a rush here. We'll get 3 alpha on as well as these 3 in auto. We shall deal with the cabin pressure, or landing elevation rather, when we are in the air. This is all good. Air conditioning, we can turn the packs to on and the recirculation fan on. So that's actually going to come on when the APU comes alive. We'll turn the windshield heat to low and just turn these lights up a teeny touch here. Standby compass to bright, and everything else is good. We'll turn on the no smoking and seatbelt signs because we've got fuel on board now. We'll arm the emergency lights, and that is everything else set up there. So coming down below, we shall go down to the FMS. Let's set the position, bring in the flight plan. So we're going Echo Golf Bravo Bravo to Echo Golf Papa Hotel in Edinburgh. Our originating runway is... Well, we're expecting 15. He didn't actually confirm that. So let me just ask him. Fly Duo 614. Could I confirm the active runway?
It's 15.
Okay, great stuff.
Sean X1 Hotel Romeo radio check.
Sean X1 Hotel Romeo,
Runway 15.
and just check your files, your flight plan.
Alternate is Manchester.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Flight number is Duo 614. Execute. Let's put in our departure. We're going through the Lovum 1 Lima, runway 15. Execute that. Then we are going... in fact, we're going to try and use self-loading cargo, so let's just get that going as well. Import from SimBrief. Going to give ourselves an extra 15 minutes here. Cruiser to 2-4. Let's start that. And that should work now because we've got the jetway connected. It is indeed. So let's start the passengers boarding. Alright, so from Lovum we're going direct to TNT, which is just by Manchester, I believe. And then November 6-7 to Pole Hill. November 57, my bad. To Pole Hill, VOR. November 601 to InPip. And then I think that brings us on to our arrival. It does indeed. Okay, cool. Let's leave it at that. So that's executed. Let's do now the perf page. We're going to do a flex temp of 48. Let's go over here and just copy perf init data. Perf init, that's all in there. Cruising flight level, I said, was 240. So let's stick that in. Execute. Winds is going to be positive 16 on average, and then we can go we'll leave that, we'll just put 1815, and then VNAV. Transition altitude I believe in Birmingham is 5,000. It's 6,000, so that's fine.
BBC 1 Hotel Romeo, you ready to copy?
Okay, that's all good stuff. Right, that's all set in the FMS.
Channel 1 Hotel Romeo requesting clearance.
Let's go legs on that side, radio on that side. These are all good. Everything is good here.
Yankee
Everything is good here. And check this out. I've got these switches now mapped to my engine switches here on the throttle quadrant. That's very cool. And these little flaps as well to this little knob here. See how that comes up like that.
Did you catch all that?
We'll do that in a sec though. We'll do that in a sec. I'll catch up with the chat in a sec, guys. I'm just trying to see if we can get the most out of this controller whilst he's still online, because he's going to go offline soon. So I'll catch up with the chat momentarily. We'll get the lights on there. Standby radio can come on.
Channel 1 Hotel Romeo.
Stab trim, Mac trim. Oh no, I forgot to align these, didn't I? I think I've got that on instant though, so I'm actually just gonna roll with that for now because we want to get underway here. Your dampers on. And I think we are all good. Let's just do a quick test right there. Why not? I just moved something then, I think. I think I just flicked the switch by accident there. I think it must have been one of these radio ones, which isn't really relevant for us anyway, so that's fine. Okay, APU is fired up and ready to go. We can then now, we'll get the aircraft secured and we'll call ready for pushback.
Channel 1 Hotel Romeo, I gotta go now, so I'm gonna post your clearance in chat for you.
Oh, he's going anyway.
No problem.
Oh, poo-poo. Oh well, okay.
Bye.
I guess we'll slow down then and just chill out for a sec then. Alright, fair enough. Noah, good afternoon.
I gotta leave now. Sorry about that.
Hope you're doing well.
Unicorn 122.
Welcome. How do I feel about winning the screenshot contest? Yeah, I'm freaking super happy about it. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise really, because there was so many good entries. I didn't think I had any possible chance really. But yeah, hey ho, here we are. Still managed it somehow. So yeah, I'm pretty damn excited really to get a 3080. Macco Simulations, welcome to the chat over on YouTube. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're with Duo Airlines today, or Duo Airways in their old home here at Birmingham. Pretty cool. All right, let's set the parky brake then, and we'll remove the wheel chocks. We'll get the tug connected as well. All right, so I didn't need to rush there in the end, but hey ho. Initial climb clearance for the SID is 6,000 at Loveham, so we'll set that in. Flight directors are on. I did bind them as well. I bound some of the autopilot controls as well to my joystick. So if you, on my right joystick here, I've got sort of, I've got speed mode. See how that's activated there. And I can toggle it off again. Heading mode, which I can toggle. Nav mode. which is just great. It's really, really, really cool application, that. Let's get the fuel boost pumps on now, and let's do one. Let's get the beacon light on. And let's just do a quick checklist now, since we've got a bit more time. Just making sure I'm not missing too much here. Passenger signs are on. Landing elevation is set. Altimeters are 1015 and set. FMS is checked and set. IRS is aligned. And nav, radios and nav aids are set. Takeoff briefing is complete. Well, we haven't done that today, but I feel like I'm on a roll here. So let's just get things rolling. Okay. Clear to start. APU is on. Electrics are checked. Takeoff data is set. Doors are closed and locked. Beacon light is on. Fuel pumps are on. Quantity is 3.3 tons. Hydraulic pumps are auto and on. Parking brake is currently on. Let's just check our CAS messages. Everything is looking good. Okay, let's get some pushback then. Birmingham traffic. Fly Duo 614, stand 41 center, pushing back. Alright, let's release that parking brake. And let's get underway. Dylan, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Very nice. Looking sad without new jetways. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those in the sim. By all means, feel free to send them over. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those custom jetways. I was actually surprised how well this jetway connected to the CRJ. But yeah, I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking, Macco Sim. Thank you. All right, guys, so check this out then. We're going to start the engines now. I'm not going to use the mouse at all. Well, I am going to use the mouse just once, but check this. So all I need to do here is press engine right starter. And then what we could do here, so I've bound these little flaps to this engine mode selector, which obviously is normally the engine mode selector on the Airbus. So I'm going to turn that to the right, and that's going to activate the right flap. And then what I can do is I can bring the thrust lever backwards and forwards like that. Oops, there we go. Obviously, I'm not going to... that was a bit premature, really, because I need to wait for the N2s to rise. So I might have just cocked things up there. Might just need to do that again. Yes, I do. I was getting a bit too excited there. All right, let's get the pushback to stop us just here. Let's put the parking brake on. And we'll send Tug on his way. Give him a wave. Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. Perfectly straight. Anyways, we've got 23% N2 here. So here we go. If I put the ignition to the right-hand side, then I can just bring the thrust levers forwards into the idle position there. And then if I put the engine mode selector back to the normal position in the middle, now I can still move the thrust levers as normal, and I can even use the reverse if I want. It's so good how you're able to set it up in Axis to Nose. It's so good. Alright, there we go. Pretty good. I think that's a good engine start there. Let's go for the left engine. Beautiful day here in the UK. Looking forward to getting up in the sky. Alright. Going to get that 20% N2 momentarily. Let's do the same thing with the left side and just moving the thrust lever forwards. There we go. Love to see it. Love to see it. Brilliant. Let's get this transponder to 1. Let's make sure the TCAS is on above. Okay then. Wait for that engine to start. We can arm the nose wheel steering as well. Okay. Alright, that's 2 good engine starts. Let's set the probe heat to on. And anti-ice I don't believe we'll actually need. 20 degrees in Birmingham. Come on now. Alright, let's turn the APU off. There we go. Nice little feature, nice little detail as well. I don't know if you've noticed or not, guys, but if you actually have a look here, let's zoom out a bit. Nice little detail on the CRJ that you don't really notice that often. It's right here. Kind of difficult to see because of the jet blast right now, but there's the APU flap right there. That's the flap for the APU. So if I go in here now, I go back into the cockpit and press this button. There she goes. Look at that. It's even animated. That's so cool. So cool. Love to see it. Love to see it. Alright, cool. So we've got our anti-ice on, and let's turn on our thrust reversers. I could do that on the controller here. Again, love to see it. Alright, so let's do our after start checklist. Generators are auto electric, so we can just do a quick check on now. Both engines supplying the power and all feeding the DC buses here, transformer rectifier units. So that's looking good. Bleed valves have auto. Packs are on. APU is off. Anti-ice is as required. Nose wheel steering is armed. Let's set the flaps to 8 here. We could do that as well with axis and nose. You can actually, the flaps axis works on that, which is just brilliant. See, there we go. It's set into flaps 8. Alright, and then let's do a quick flight control check while we are here. So, full left on the ailerons, full right and neutral, full up, full down and neutral, full right on the rudder and full left, neutral. Okie dokes. Let's just check our trim setting. We didn't set that yet, did we? So we'll set that to 6.5. Okay, that is everything done on the taxi check. So let's get underway. I'm actually just going to set the fuel crossflow now because why not set it already? And to be fair, everything else on here is going to be complete anyway. It's just the lights really you need to worry about, and the radar, which doesn't actually work in this aircraft right now. Okay, so let's set this back to status. Let's box those white indications there, and let's release the parking brake and get underway. So runway 15 is the runway in use. So let's do one. Oh, a bit too much power there. Getting a bit more confident with the rudder pedals now as well. Although I wish I had like a deeper desk so I could put them a bit further underneath, because I feel like it makes my seating position really not that great, to be honest. We can put our tax lights on as well now. I set that to button here on my joystick. Brilliant, love to see it. Alright, runway 15 is to the right, I believe. This is a problem when we don't do a departure briefing. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, we're going to the right. We're going to take a right here up Delta and then all the way along Alpha. Yeah, let's bring up the fuzz pad real quick and we'll just do a quick little briefing here. So yeah, we're here on Delta. We're going to taxi all the way down to the end to Delta 1 and then on to Alpha, all the way to the end and then on to runway 15. Pretty straightforward. Then our departure is going to take us out to the southeast here. Maximum 200 knots in this turn. And then maximum 6,000 feet really. These minimums we won't need to worry about in the CRJ. But we've just got to watch these speed limits. So I'm just going to be very careful at accelerating us up to speed once we get underway. Alright. Hey sir, good afternoon, welcome to the chat, good to see you, I hope you're doing well. Phil, yes. Oh. Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Beautiful, beautiful evening here. I didn't announce my taxi on VATSIM. I think there's only this one other player here though, so I think we can probably be forgiven. Latest update to the CRJ from Airsoft does not seem to have come up in the content manager on FS 2020 yet. Maybe it's not been pushed by Microsoft yet. I have mine directly through Airsoft, so I use the Airsoft updater. So yeah, I'm not sure if Microsoft have had the update yet or not, to be honest. Slowly does it. Let's get a bit more power in here as we get away from the terminal area. We turn our map mode on for the radar because why not, even though it doesn't work, just for completeness. Yeah, I'm really pleased with with Axis's nose. Yeah, I messed around with it for ages, just using the trial version to make sure I could get it to work. And yeah, I could. In the end, I got pretty much everything I wanted to work with it. I mean, it's so powerful, you can literally set absolutely anything. It's crazy, honestly. You can set anything that has an LVAR in the sim, you can set to a controller if you want, basically. Well, within reason. I think some of them are a bit more difficult to get working than others, but yeah, it's brilliant, especially if you've got like some kind of radio panel, or if you've got like an autopilot panel and stuff like that. It's going to be perfect for stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a big fan. And it's not even expensive, really. Not even expensive. I think it's only £14 on Just Flight. So I think it's worth it. Because I don't think Airsoft are going to add too much more controller support for the CRJ. That's the impression I'm getting. And obviously other complex aircraft in the future are probably going to be in a fairly similar scenario. You'll have to use the LVARs, I imagine. Oh, Teddy Saunders coming in with the 78. 78 feet per minute, that's bold. That's very bold. Alright, what is the runway heading here at Birmingham? 146, let's set that in our heading. We've done pretty much the before takeoff checklist now, so we just need to turn the lights on as we get onto the runway and get underway. Birmingham traffic, flight duo 614, taxi into runway 15 and lining up. Alright, we've got takeoff config okay here. Always a good sign. Let's get our landing lights on now and the strobe lights as we enter the runway. Make sure they're actually on. First I've actually used the LVARs to do the lights. The strobe light one didn't seem to work there, but the landing lights and the taxi lights. Maybe I didn't bind the strobe one yet. Everything else looks good though. Oh, plenty of space for the takeoff roll here. Put takeoff mode on. Still getting used to the sensitivity on the brakes on the pedals. Microsoft Flight Simulator always mystifies me though. It seems like if you put in full rudder for whatever reason, it just you just lose all momentum on the ground. It's weird. All right, let's brake on down. Hey, Alistair, thank you very much, dude, for the 2 months of support. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciated. That's very kind of you, dude. All right, so we're pretty much ready to go here. Let me just double check. Flight attendants will go seats for takeoff. We just need to wait for them to sit down. Crew not seated yet. Not sure why none of the sounds are coming through for this. I think it's because I've linked it to this channel now. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. It's coming through now. Okay, cool. Crew not yet seated, so we'll just wait for that. I forgot to give them a bing bong. All right. There we go. All right, let's do this thing. Up to 60%. There we go. Releasing the toe brakes. And then up to flex. Birmingham traffic, fly duo 614, runway 15, taking off. I was probably a little bit late on the notification there for anyone, but I think it's pretty quiet over here.
80 knots.
80 knots. V1 and rotate. Oh, it tends to stick a little bit, does this aircraft? Gear up. Yeah, it tends to stick a little bit when you try and rotate. It's a little bit weird. Alright, let's get speed mode and nav mode engaged on the autopilot. Not sure why it's asking me to bank a little bit. Let's get the autopilot in there. Climb thrust set. And let's go to 200 knots. And we're going to keep the flaps in for now. We'll go to flaps 1. Oops. There we go. Alright, and we'll go to flap 0. 200 knots is the speed limit for this first corner here on the departure. Just in time indeed, Alistair, welcome. What time now in your place? It's 20 past 6 in the UK at the moment. We're an hour ahead of UTC time. So there we go. We are out of here. Beautiful, beautiful evening here in the UK. Very, very light winds, and we're looking good, really. So 200 knots on that first turn, and then we've got 210 knots coming up to the next one. We're about to get out to capture, so let's go 210 knots here, and get ready to bring back those throttles. Frederick, dude, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you, mate. Good landing. We just took off. But thank you very much nevertheless. Thank you very much for the 50 stars. Very generous as always. Thank you very much, dude. Absolute legend. Alright, let's make sure we don't break the speed limit here. Pass through 5,000 obviously now, so let's go to standard pressure. And we've got altitude capture again because we changed to standard pressure. 250 knots is the next waypoint, so we can actually start to speed up a little bit here. I'm going to put climb thrust back in. Alright, I'll catch up with the chat in just a second here once we get stabilized at 6,000. Bringing that throttle back a bit. There we go, I think that should do it. Let's disarm the thrust reversers there. Oh, a little bit less throttle. There we go. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Looking good. Let's turn the crossflow override back to auto. We'll leave the lights as they are for now and the seatbelts on for now. Let's do our climb checklist. Fuel crossflow is auto, bleeds and APU is set, thrust reversers are off, CAS is checked and okay. Okay, great stuff. So we have now passed our last speed limit waypoint, although obviously we should be 250 below 10,000. We're just going to fly out to Lovum now at 6,000 and then head on up. In fact, shall we just clear ourselves up to our cruising altitude today, which I forget what it is, to be quite honest. It's 240, so let's do that. There we go. Let's go now. Speed mode, 250 knots, and we are going to put climb thrust back in. Okie dokie, let's go. All right, see if I can catch up with some messages here then. Stephen says this plane is complete. Hang on, let me just get this focus right. There we go, that should do it. It's so hard with the keyboard. Usually I use my controller for this. There we go. Completely unresponsive for me today, Bobby. Autopilot won't activate, climbs constant, doesn't manage speeds. See, I've never really had any issues with the autopilot not activating. All I can suggest is if your autopilot is not activating, I mean, forgive me if it's a bit of a stupid thing to say, but let me just turn the nose lights and the landing lights off now. They're off. And turn the logo lights off as well, and the seatbelt signs can now come off. We'll do the same for the passengers. Okay, yeah, so I've never really had too many issues with the autopilot not activating. All I can suggest is if you just check your CAS messages, make sure nothing is yellow before you take off, and you shouldn't have any issues. And you also want to make sure that when you are before you take off, you should have a green message on this screen saying takeoff config OK. And then also once you activate the takeoff mode here using this button or this little screw here, once you activate those, you will also notice it should say takeoff twice here, and if one of them is crossed out, that means you've not set it up right for the flight. So you need to just check that. Forgive me if that's a stupid thing to say, but that's the only time I've ever had any issues with the autopilot not engaging. Let's also speed up to 290 now as we are above 10,000 feet. What aircraft is this? Nicholas, this is the CRJ700. It's an add-on made by Aerosoft. The aircraft is originally made by Bombardier. It's now owned by Mitsubishi, so it's technically a Mitsubishi CRJ700. Tin-chan, I like your gameplay. Good luck from Indonesia. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Of course you meant Takeoff, Frederick. Yes, I thought you might. I thought you might. Steve, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. I see you. I think that's you on Twitch, isn't it, as well? Teddy Saunders. Yeah, sorry, I forget. But yeah, let's see if you get the landing rate this time. Bang on, 78. That's a pretty bold prediction, though, so I'm not sure if we're going to manage it. We'll see. Any updates on the radar? No, not yet. No, nothing yet. Hopefully soon. Now then, Mike. Now then, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Stephen, yeah, no worries at all, man. No worries. That's all I can really think of. If you still do that and you're still having issues, then by all means feel free to drop me a message and some screenshots or whatever, and I'll see what I can do to help. If anything. I don't know, there might be a bug, I'm not sure. Microsoft Flight Simulator sometimes has a mind of its own. Yes, I hope you get it too, Steve, to be honest. It'd be quite amazing. Why are these buttons flickering? I guess it's just a light, isn't it? Yeah, so with this aircraft, I feel like they've adjusted the sound as well in the cockpit. It's much more, the wind noise isn't as loud anymore. It just seems to be a bit more subdued. Let's see what else they changed. They changed, like I say, all the colour scheme here, and they give obviously now feedback on when you click and stuff. They also changed this flight deck noises as well. I don't know if you guys have messed around with this at all. That now saves its position, which is nice, because I tend to have that on, even though it's usually very difficult to ever hear those noises, to be quite honest. But yeah, it's nice to have that one on. Don't want coupled being have on. All right, automatically set transition altitude and level is quite a nice one as well, to be quite honest. It's quite a nice one to have. All right, let's just have a quick review of everything. See that everything is looking good. Seatbelt signs are off, and yeah, we are chilling here. Great stuff. There we go. There's the cord for altitude capture. Seems to capture altitudes a little bit better as well. I don't know if that's just luck, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to slow down as much as it comes in for a capture, which is always nice. So our cruise speed is going to be 300 knots. Excuse me. Center the heading bug, something I always forget. I should really bind that to a button on my controller. Excuse me. Did I like the Corsair this morning? Yeah, I loved it. It looks wicked. Looks really, really cool. Yeah, love it. It looks, yeah, very impressive. Amos, welcome to the chat. Good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. We are landing today in Edinburgh. Not too long of a flight actually here in the UK. Let's just VNav and do that, and let's just bring up our MFD data here. So destination is Edinburgh Echo Golf Papa Hotel. Estimated time of arrival is, yeah, it doesn't seem to have calculated it properly. I guess it's probably because we've not put an arrival in yet. ETA shouldn't be in too long, to be honest. 46 minutes. Probably be more like half an hour, to be honest. They have. It's not quiet. I thought my headset was broke. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Oh, shit. The speed is running away with me here. Holy crap. Look at that. Nearly going into the reds. In this simulator, can you tell the difference of landing different aircrafts? Let's say this one compared to the 747. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Now, that's not to say that the difference is a good difference. Like, for example, the 747, I feel like, is just a bit of a weird one to land, to be honest. I feel like it's very what's the word? I don't know. It floats ridiculously easily, and it just doesn't feel like what you would imagine a huge 747 would feel like when you land it. But yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. Yeah, yeah. This is a lot different to land than the A320, for example. And obviously the light aircraft as well, it's a lot more different to that. Have I got the arrow on this? No, I don't, unfortunately. No, I would like it. It does look very, very cool. But no, I've just not. No, I've just not decided to get it just yet. As a viewer, it looks the same. Yeah, I can imagine it does look the same, but it's just you don't really tend to feel the nuances of what it's like to, you know, I suppose just handle the aircraft as it comes in for a landing. I suppose you can't really tell that difference too much on when you're watching it. Paul, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I'm doing very well, thank you, and hope you are too. Welcome, welcome. Can you simulate engine failure and things like that? No, I don't. I mean, I think there is some failures that you can simulate, yeah, but I don't think a lot of the aircraft have the system support to kind of deal with it. I think in this aircraft, to be fair, you probably could. I've not really messed about with it yet, but I think in this aircraft you probably could get away with it because it's got, you know, it's got the engine fire buttons here. It's got the ADG for, you know, backup power and stuff like that. So you could probably get away with it in this aircraft. I think it might be something worth looking into, but there isn't sort of a robust failure system, if that makes sense. More of a Jetman, Mike. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do like the look of those aircraft, but I just feel like I just get a bit more from the jets, to be honest. But the way you pay attention to details, especially on the checklist aspect, yeah, I do try to. I mean, this flight has been a bit of a rush to get going, but usually I'm pretty. You know, I do like to do all the checklists because, I mean, for two reasons. Because, you know, it does feel a little bit more realistic when you do it that way, and also when you try to stream and set up an aircraft in, you know, a proper manner, the checklist definitely help because you get distracted. Made one years ago. It was fun. You actually, well, you made like an arrow, what, from scratch? In real life, or or in a simulator? Yeah, that's also a good point, Mike. Yeah, the visibility can be very different. Yeah, especially like, I mean, the CRJ, it's quite good in the CRJ, but in the 747, for instance, it kind of feels like you sat down here, but obviously if you're just sat in a normal position, it's just the dash is a lot higher. A320 is quite good visibility, and then the 787, that's a bit more strange because it kind of feels like you're looking, feels like you sat up really high and that you're looking down a bit, but yeah. Right, let's set up our arrival anyway. There's no controllers on for the centre. There is a controller on for the ground in Edinburgh, but that's it for now. So we'll set up our arrival as if there's none on. So our arrival into Edinburgh is going to be the InPip 1 Echo. In fact, we could check the ATIS as well. We're in use is 2.4, which is, let's see, that's what we were expecting. So InPip 1 Echo will work for that, and ILS 2.4. Transition we want as, let's see, I think we want TLA as our transition, I think. I might just do vectors. Let's see how TLA looks. Oops. Help if I actually selected it, wouldn't it? Alright, let's select TLA. Make sure the speed's not running away with us. We're good. Let's add a bit of throttle in. And then we'll go to legs. And let's go and put this on plan mode. It'd be good if I actually put it on that. There we go. Alright, let's have a quick look here. So InPip, InRev, this tartan. Okay, so this is looking a bit funky here. Alright, so this is where the transition starts, I believe. I think it's a DME arc into... I mean, it looks okay. It looks like it sort of makes sense. Let's see how that looks on here. I think we'll just go for vectors, to be honest. I think it's probably just going to work a lot better. ILS 2.4, vectors, executes, legs. Now, we want to sort this out because this has gone a bit crazy here. Many discontinuities. So we'll get TLA, we'll put it on there. We'll put 2 InPips. Let's see what that looks like. So we need to get rid of that TLA, I believe. Okay. Let's delete TLA. We'll put InPip. Let's see. We'll take InRev and put it here and execute that. That should look okay now. Oh, and then we've got tartan, we've got another discontinuity. Cool. Great stuff looking good, and we've got a top of descent in there now as well. Which we're getting pretty close to, actually. There it is. Apparently it's 60 miles away, 69 miles away, but that doesn't seem to line up with what's on the MFD there. That's 20 miles away. Let's see what the VNav page says. Descent info. I mean, it could be right, actually. I don't know. Anyway, let's just look at the chat momentarily, and we'll see how that pans out. Would love to see you flying the A380. Yeah, as soon as the A380 comes out, I will be 100% flying that. As soon as one comes out that's, you know, decent and not a convert, I'll be 100% flying that. game settings, there is a way to trigger system failures. Yeah, that's what I was referring to, but like I say, the same as you, I've just never tried it. The Corsair will be available on Thursday, has an engine explosion. Yeah, I saw that. Scoob's demonstrated it. Spurts oil all over the windscreen. Yeah, it's pretty cool, that. Yeah, very, very cool. How am I liking the update? Yeah, it seems fairly solid. I've only done one other flight than this, so can't really say too much, but yeah, it seems okay, yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty solid. Nice little updates. I mean, I would have liked to have seen some changes to the what was I going to say now? To the way it handles SIDS and stars. It sometimes gets them a bit muddled up. But other than that, it seems okay. Okay, so we'll do a quick departure briefing in a second here. I'll just get my charts all ready. Quick descent briefing, not departure. Okay. I think this top of descent is incorrect, isn't it? I'm not sure why it's showing that one there. Anyway, let's do a descent briefing. Let's make sure we're keeping the speed in it. I feel like there could be some... I know they did some updates to the throttle as well in the sensitivity on it. It does feel a bit better, but I don't know. I'm just noticing in this flight now, it feels a lot harder to get a speed to stick, if you know what I mean. We've been flying in a straight line for a while now, and the speed's always going up and down. It's the sensitivity of it is I don't know, it's just very weird. I don't know how to describe it, really. Alright, let's do a quick briefing. Passengers are not looking that satisfied, really, are they? They would like some food, and they're getting thirsty. Let's give them some food. Anyways, here we are at INPIP. Required altitude at INPIP is actually 260, but we're coming in below that, because that was our cruising altitude, so that's fine. The next restriction we've got to meet is INREV, which is a required altitude of flight level 200. Then ESCDO, we need to be max 250 knots, and then down to Tartan at flight level 70 is a required altitude once again, maximum 230 knots. So that's the arrival, pretty straightforward, but we've just got those ones to try and keep to, those restrictions. Then we are going to be basically giving ourselves vectors from Tartan towards the ILS. We're not going to be following this DME arc, we'll just give ourselves vectors, and that should be fine. Minimums for the ILS here is 300, and it's a 3-degree glide slope, so pretty standard, and yeah, it should be cool. Landing at Edinburgh on runway 24. We'll probably exit the runway at Bravo probably and come back down onto the main terminal. Pretty straightforward taxi down Alpha and then Echo Foxtrot, something like that. We've got a freeware scenery installed for Edinburgh, so I'm intrigued to see what that's like. But anyway, let's start our descent. This is getting to 3 degrees now, so we need to start moving down. Help if I put the altitude selector to the correct altitude first. So put it down to 20,000 vertical speed, and we want 3,200 feet per minute to begin with. Oh my god, I can't. There we go. Speed 290 knots we're aiming for now. Yeah, for some reason the snowflake's not showing or anything. Yeah, the VNAV's been a little bit strange, but anyhow. Hey Steve, thank you very much for the 200 stars, dude. Very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so we're approaching flight level 200 now, which is the required altitude at this waypoint here in Rev. And we should be good for that. There we go, altitude capture as we just pass through this waypoint here. Let's make sure we keep the speed in. Alright, next flight level, next required altitude is 7,000. So we'll put this down to 7,000 here. Alright. For some reason this has not actually changed anything, that's a bit strange. Okay. So Tartan is the next waypoint with a restriction. So in order to get down there we need 2,700 feet per minute. Quite a steep descent here. I guess I probably left it a bit too late, but oh well. Let's go put a quick fix in here. Let's go for... Oh, okay. It's not letting me put that in. Hang on. There we go. Now we want a distance of what altitude is Edinburgh at? It's 136, so we want that at 30 miles. Just as a reminder of where we should be at 10,000 feet. Puts that nice ring for us there. Okie dokie, so we're aiming for Tartan here at flight level 70. We need to be at 250 knots now, basically. So I'm speeding. But let's pull those throttles back right back to idle. And we should be good. In fact, no, we're probably going to struggle to make that speed limit, but we've done all we can. Like Ben says, whatfood.com if you want to contribute a few quid to Bobby's PPL fund. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, no requirement, but it's there, you know, if anyone wants to offer a tip towards the channel. Oh, hang on. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about the SID being all messed up. It's basically just... I'm not sure what it's done here, but it's all gone a bit P-tong. So let's go Tartan. Yeah, I did wonder why there was so many waypoints on the list there before Tartan. It just didn't click. Oh dear, the passengers are screaming. They don't like bumps. A few bumps there as we turn. Hey Ramsey, welcome to the chat. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Good arrival into 2-4 over the estuary and parallel to the 4th bridge. Yeah, nice. It should be good. I think I have done this once before, but not in a very long time. Alright, let's make sure our landing elevation is set as well. Edinburgh is at 136, so let's just increase this a little bit. Landing elevation 120 should do it. That should do 140. We'll give it one more click. There we go. Great stuff. Okay, so we're approaching 10,000 feet momentarily. Let's get a bit of speed brake in here. Let's arm the thrust reversers while I remember. Alright, let's just do the descent checklist. The landing elevation is set, fuel is checked, TCAS We didn't actually set that. I completely forgot. Below. Radar is on. CAS is checked. Landing data is set. Approach briefing is complete. Great stuff. Alright, so passing 10,000 feet now. We're going to need to keep that speed brake in, I think, because we've still got quite a high rate of descent here. Edinburgh traffic, flight 614 inbound on the INPIP 1 Echo arrival for runway 24. Alright, and then we're going to give ourselves vectors on to the ILS from Tartan, basically. Let's bring those speed brakes in now. Alright, and then we want to be at 3,000 feet as the platform altitude. So let's keep that descent going. Make sure we keep the throttle in as we are leveling out just a bit here. Let's go vertical speed still, and only going to need a shallow rate of descent now. .900 feet per minute should do it. Let's go to heading mode. Alright, nav source to lock 1. We need to tune the ILS actually, don't we? That doesn't look correct there. 108.9. Oh, it is actually correct. The course looks... Okay, the passengers don't like that, whatever is going on. Let's put the seatbelt signs on. The course for the ILS should be 241. Why is it at 61? That seems not right. Oh, we could do with putting our landing lights on and our taxi lights as well, couldn't we? Logo lights as well. Seatbelt signs can come on now. And yeah, let's just correct that course to 241. Very strange how it's so far off there. Good thing I checked. Let's just check the frequency. 108.9 is correct. Interesting. Alright, let's go back to standard pressure, sorry, normal pressure, and the QNH. The ATIS is not working on VATSIM. Let's just press B on the keyboard. 1021. We're still descending. We're looking good. Alright. Make this our next waypoint. And we can execute that. We are still on heading mode though. We're just vectoring ourselves around onto the ILS here. Beautiful. We're going to come out and in, aren't we? Very nice. There's the fourth bridge. Very nice. I've not actually flown this approach since they added the fourth bridge. Should be pretty cool. Alright, we've got seatbelts, no smoking, let's box those. Alright, let's do a, well, might as well just see what we've got on here. Flight attendants, we need to advise them. Passenger signs are on, thrust reversers are armed, landing gear, slats and flaps will do on the final approach. Great stuff.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing, thank you.
Give ourselves a little bit more of a rate of descent here. And I'm going to idle the throttles now so we can start slowing down. As we've got about 5 miles until we intercept the ILS. Okay. Oh god, I just kicked my rudder pedal. Oh, what are you gonna do? Right. Okie dokes, let's go nav mode. Let's bring the heading round a bit. We might as well just go approach mode. We might even capture the glide slope here. Alright, so we've got selected altitude capture, localizer capture, and we are slowing down now. Let's get flaps 1 out. Glide slope capture, 180 knots, flaps 2. Let's bring that Edinburgh round. $170 knots. We're descending on the glide slope now. See, this is much more stable now. Beautiful. Flaps 20 at 170 knots and flaps 30 at 160 knots, gear down. Get some throttle back in now. Alright, VREF we can set now as well. VREF is 138. 2,000 feet AGL. Lock 1 is still capturing for some reason. We are a little bit off the localizer here. What I'm going to do is I want to try an experiment here with this. See, it's much easier to see where you are on the localizer if you bring up this this map. It's quite difficult to see this one when you are like this, but so it's much easier when you're like that, and you can see the glide slope much easier as well. Lock 1 still capturing, but we're just slowly making our way over. Slowly, we should be good though. Let's see if we can get a good landing. I feel like all my landings since I got the rudder pedals have just been pretty dire because I just end up swerving about all over the place on the runway. After fuzzy start with the CRJ, there's been little time for quizzes. Never mind. We all know who would win. Yeah, that's very true. The CRJ is a bit too busy for me to do any quizzes. But yeah. I'll try and remember to do some in the future. Alright, here we go. There's the 4th bridge, looking absolutely ravishing in this light. Looks very, very cool. Very nice. Alright, let's start to lower that speed now. 1,000 foot AGL, flaps 45. Let's 1,000. Make sure we've still got some throttle in here. Let's go to manual flight. We're a touch too low here on the glide slope. Let's just try and correct that.
Unicom Alpine 6925 on the short runway 24 for limiting traffic.
Edinburgh traffic, fly duo 614, 2 mile final for runway 24.
400.
There we go. We are back on the glide slope now, looking good. That guy just reminded me I was still on VATSIM. I completely forgot.
300. 200.
Bit low now. There we go. Looking good. Oh dear. The stutters. I had this the other day as well, actually.
100.
Very strange.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Oh, floating. Oh my god, a float.
10.
Full reverses for that. Nose wheel is down. Let's get some braking in. I didn't fly about all over the place on the runway then. Reverses stowed. Get some more braking in there. Oh my god, Steve, you're one off again. No freaking way, dude. Alright, let's vacate the runway. Oh dear, what's this taxi line doing? Let's get the landing lights off as well. It's not sure why altitude capture is still flashing. Strobe lights off. Woo! God, that was a very floaty landing there. I feel like, I don't know, I just couldn't work out. We had a very slow rate of descent as we were coming in on short final there. And as soon as I retarded the engines, you guys probably noticed...
traffic, all my 6925 taking off runway 24.
Yeah. Edinburgh traffic, fly duo 614 taxi into stand. Yeah, you guys might have noticed that as soon as I retarded the thrust levers there, yeah, it just started floating. I guess I could have probably done with a little bit of a higher rate of descent there before I pulled the throttles to idle, maybe, or done it later. But because on this aircraft, because the engines are mounted at the back and not under the wings like on the A320, for example, the nose has a tendency of going up when the thrust is reduced. Because obviously the engines are no longer, you know, pushing the whole airframe forwards and down. So it has a tendency to go up when you retard or bring the thrust back. So yeah, a little bit floaty, but I'm gonna take it. I mean, that was butter. That was butter. No matter how you swing it. I can't believe you're one off, Steve. That's crazy. Yeah, Brian, yeah, runway absolutely demolished there. That would probably be a go around in real life, wouldn't it? But we can be a little bit riskier here in flight sim. Alright, so I've got all the flaps retracted already. Let's get the pitot tube heat off. And oh, there we go. We've got Edinburgh grounds 121.750. Edinburgh ground, good evening, fly duo 614 with you on taxiway Alpha, request taxi to the main terminal.
Yeah, fly duo 614 Edinburgh ground, good evening. Taxi to stand 9er on the main apron by Alpha and Echo.
Taxi to stand 909 via Alpha and Echo, fly duo 614, thank you. Alright, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Alright, thrust reversers can be disarmed now. Let's do our after landing checklist. Probes are off, lights are set, slats and flaps are 0. Oh, check this out as well, guys. Oof, yes. This is a cool thing that I bound. So I've bound the APU to these 2 buttons here. So I can press this left button. If you see here, APU door closed. APU byte, APU shutter valve open, and then APU start with the right button. How amazing is that? Oh, I love it. I love it. Alright, let's see what the passengers saw. Perfect. Well done. 101 feet per minute. Self-loading cargo tends to register the landing rate a little bit different to Sim Toolkit, but yeah, more or less the same. 1G. Absolutely fantastic. So we're taxiing on straight here to Alpha, and then we're taking a right onto Echo, which is this next one here. Let's get the radar turned off as well. And we can turn our transponder to standby as well now. In fact, I never even checked that mode Charlie was on VATSIM. It wasn't. This transponder switch doesn't mode Charlie on VATSIM for some reason. And then we're looking for standard 9er, which is basically right on the end here to the right of Echo. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, so this is a freeware Edinburgh. It looks pretty good. I mean, I've never been to Edinburgh Airport, so I can't really comment on how accurate this looks. But, I mean, I feel like they've done a pretty good job here. They've got all the ground textures and stuff all changed up. Not sure how well the terminal building matches up. I know that the tower is still a work in progress. He said that on the page, but, I mean, it looks pretty... definitely better than the default. They've got the ground markings going on, which is very nice. Adam says, good evening. Good evening, Adam. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat again. We're looking for stand 99 here, which should be right at the end here. Should be just here. Yeah, beautiful. Alright, let's turn off those taxi lights as we turn in here. Not a brilliant lineup, but not too terrible. Let's see. We're a little bit to the right of the line, aren't we? I'm getting a lot better with these rudder pedals, I do have to say. Let's see. Oh, yes. That is pretty much bang on, I think. Nice and smooth to a standstill as well. Oh, you gotta love the rudder pedals. Okay, parking brake is set. Cool. Alright, and guys, I've got to show you as well with the key bindings. Right, so you see the thrust levers? They're obviously in idle position now. And obviously I can still move them to reverse if I want. I can move them forwards and backwards. But if I rotate this little knob here on the throttle quadrant, then... oh, there we go. Oh, that one didn't work. That's embarrassing. Okay, that's not... oh, I need to do the other side. My apologies. So rotate it to the left and then... there we go. Boom. Engine shut off. Love to see it. Let's get the boost pumps turned off. Now the issue with this gate is I'm not going to be able to get any ground services. Oh no, I'm a little bit off the line, aren't I? Oh, I thought it was perfect. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get a jetway, I don't think, unfortunately. So I will probably just have to deboard the passengers instantly here. So we've got the... let's just check here real quick. Make sure we've got electrical power. Yeah, we're looking good. Alright, so I'll probably just have to do this little weird sort of glitchy thing. Like...
Speedbird 4346, Edinburgh ground, good evening. cleared to Manchester via GoZam 1 Charlie departure, squawk 0015.
Alright, I'll just disconnect from VATSIM as well. Okay, so is it going to let me do it or not? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Let me try pushback help, or let me see if I can get a air stairs on the way. Parking brake is set, isn't it? Let's do the shutdown checklist. Parking brake is on, seatbelts are off, thrust levers are shut off, anti-ice is off, fuel pumps are off, beacon light. We can turn that one off for sure. Nose wheel steering, we can also turn that off. Now then, is this going to make an air stairs spawn? Is that one moving? No. I can't get the passengers off. Usually it does this thing where the doors like glitch out for a while, then you can just right click on it. Hang on. I mean, we could try open the doors here, but I don't think it actually makes any difference. We'll put the chocks in and
Door.
you can hear that door opening and closing sound, but it doesn't seem to be having any effect on self-loading cargo. Yeah, I can't quite get it to do it. I'm going to have to try and just mash the buttons here and see if I can... what we might have to do, we might have to go to a gate to actually get the passengers off. Alright, let's try that. Let's try that. Evening, Marino, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, good to see you. Adam said, can you play the game at different skill levels, i.e. cutting out the start of flight plan, etc.? Yes, with some aircraft, yeah. Some aircraft it works better than others, but some are a little bit more difficult, like this one, for example. You can cut out all of the start procedures and stuff, but the flight plan you have to put in on this aircraft. Alright, that's way too far forward. Oh! There we go, that'll do. Alright, let's see if we can get the jetway connected now! Please, game. There we go. Fantastic, we can get our passenger off finally. Go on, do be proud. There we are. Let's get the rails down. Oh. Let's give him a thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit once again, I hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for flying with us.
AC power on. I think you just need to go like that. There we go. Should be on AC power now. We are indeed looking good. Power down that APU. Oh, apparently external AC power isn't actually providing any power. That's a new one. I wonder if it's because I did this. Because I slewed us. Oh, it wasn't actually on, was it? Huh. I'm still not 100% sure how you transition from using an APU to... how you transition from using the APU to external power smoothly. Alright, I thought I turned these thrust reversers off. Should really turn those off before you turn the engines off. Anyways, let's have a look at our flight report. It's probably going to be a relatively good one. Oh, beautiful. A+, 100 feet per minute. Fantastic. Lovely stuff. Can't complain. Beautiful. All right, so, yeah, no real complaints. We've got to notify the cabin crew to take the seats for landing. Oh, yeah, I did forget that, didn't I? But that was a pretty good one, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that all panned out. You just got to remember to park at the jetway. That's all we need to remember for next time. All right, let's do our checklist for shutting things down then. Where are we? Okay. So parking brake is... We've already done this checklist. We can actually release the parking brake now because we're on chocks. We did a bit of heavy braking there on the landing, so we can let the brakes cool down by leaving the parking brake off. As you can see, they've got one, which is not 1 degree. We're not actually on chocks, are we? Yeah, so 1 degree is not actually... sorry, 0.1 is not actually 1 degree. It's actually some kind of relative measurement that is specific to the CRJ, I believe. All right, cool. So let's do the termination checklist. So chocks and brakes are in and off. IRS we can now turn to off. Emergency lights are going to go off. Anti-ice should be off already. It is indeed. Hydraulic pumps are off. External lights off. APU is off. Battery master can then go off. Still doesn't register where I've been properly. And then I think all the other cabin lights are actually off already. Hello? Simulator. Please. There we go. Alright, great stuff. So battery's off, all the cabin lights are off. Let's turn the standby compass light to off. Just check the dome light up here is off. Don't want to wear the battery down. Wait, oh, we're still on external power somehow.
Door.
There we go. Okay, so that's it really. Let's get the doors closed. And this can be disconnected. Chocks are in place. And we are nicely shut down for the day. Beautiful stuff. Alright guys, so that is going to be all from me for today. I've got just a short stream today, unfortunately. However, no, actually, let's not call it there. Let's just do a quick look at the landing report first. So I'll bring up the fuzz pad and have a look at that real quick. What we'll do is when we end as well, we'll send you all over to someone else on Facebook. If you want to hang fire, and we'll do that. But let's have a quick look at the landing report. It's 106 feet per minute, 1G, perfect landing report. Is centerline deviation 16 feet, so not bad at all. As you can see, we basically landed almost on the other runway. We're like well past halfway there, so very floaty, but it was still butter, so I'll take it. Roll 0.51, which is brilliant, and the heading was 0 degrees. That's some rudder pedals paying off finally. Although it was a very calm wind on the landing, so yeah. All right. How come the landing rate was 77 on the screen right after landing? Okay, so yeah, that's just a bit of a quirk with regards to how various add-ons work for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the thing that provides the landing rate on screen is a different application to what actually runs the bot on Sim Toolkit Pro. So there can be a little bit of a discrepancy between the two, unfortunately, but yeah, it's just some kind of strange quirk to do with how all the add-ons work. Calculating landing rate at the moment, it's a bit of a strange one. I'm not 100% sure on the answer, but yeah, it's just because they're basically two different apps that calculate it. Marino, you ordered your PSU and your PC case today. Amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, that's going to be a nice little upgrade, I think. All right then, guys. I think that's everything caught up with. All right, yeah, that's going to be all from me for tonight. Again, apologies, a bit of a short stream, but yeah, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Stick around for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to send you over to Smoggy. But thank you very much for everybody for tuning in. I'll be back again live on Thursday. Hopefully we'll be doing a bit more of a full-length stream on Thursday. Just a bit late coming on today, so I haven't got the time to do a full-length one, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Ramsey, dude, holy crap, thank you very much for the 400 stars. Thank you very much. William Wilson as well, thank you very much for the 45 stars. And Steve, of course, thank you very much for the 200 stars, brother. Thank you very much. All very generous people. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Who else have we got? We've got Give Jaya, Mihiz, Shalipa, Christopher, Andy, and Mariano. Thank you very much for the follows, guys. Thank you very much. Hang fire, everybody, for the raid on Smoggy on Facebook. Otherwise, I'll catch everyone else very, very soon. Take it easy, everybody. Zach, see you later, brother. Steve, peace out. Phil Duke, peace. Steve, Mike, Mariner, of course. David, Ramsey, Adam, Brian. I'll see you all very, very soon. See you Thursday, hopefully. Mike Byrne as well. Take it easy, brother. Alan, thank you very much for tuning in, as well as Malik. I'll see you all soon. Go say hi to Smoggy for me. Hashtag FuzzRaid in the chat. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.